What's going on, YouTube? Today's topic is active duty service in any of the branches. I'm Air Force, so some of the lingo that I'll use will be Air Force, but any branch can get some information from what I'll talk about. I was active duty for 9.5 years. I came in enlisted and then I commissioned. I loved every single day of it. Or I'll just say I enjoyed it. I loved the lifestyle. Every single day, okay, maybe I'm fibbing. Loved Air Force active duty. 9.5 years. The Air Force then one day said, the Air Force has too many people, so you have to leave active duty. The good thing is I went right into the reserves, and I will make a separate video on reserves and that lifestyle. So when you're active duty, you go to your tech school after basic training or your source of entry into the military. After your school, you'll go to your first base. I was at Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery, Alabama for 6 years. 6 years is a long time. Usually you'll be at an active duty base for 3-4 years or so on average. Remember, sometimes it'll be less, sometimes it'll be more, but we were at Alabama for 6 years. Then I commissioned, and my next base, active duty again, was in Colorado. Peterson Air Force Base. Enjoyed that. I was hoping to be there for 3, maybe 4 years. We were there for 2 years, 10 months. Got a short notice assignment to Hawaii, went to Paradise, and that was my last active duty base when the Air Force said, you have to leave active duty. So if you're going to be active duty, you will move about 3 to 4 years on average. And the best thing that you can do is take advantage of that and go overseas. There is a world out there. I applied, never got to go overseas, even though the Air Force considers Hawaii to be an overseas assignment. Active duty, the good thing is stability, your paycheck. You will be paid on the 1st and the 15th every month, 1st, 15th, unless you make arrangements to get paid once a month. So that stability is going to be there. It's for you to manage your pay and your expenses. Tax-free allowances for housing and food, that's a big deal. Understand that. I have another video that talks about tax-free allowances. If you're overseas, when we were in Hawaii, we received almost $700 extra tax-free per month. If you're active duty, as of today, you get $4,500 for tuition assistance. So I got all of my education paid for by the military, every single credit, every single dollar bill. I didn't come out of pocket, not once. And then on top of that, I have the GI Bill waiting for my daughter to use in about 2 years. So tuition assistance is a great benefit that often people don't take advantage of. They also offer CLEPS and DANTES tests, often for free, and I've done those as well. When you're active duty, you qualify for Space A travel. As a reservist, I'm a reservist, I don't qualify for that. What is Space A travel? That's when our unit went to England earlier this year. There were some active duty people, maybe even retirees, and their family members who were on the military aircraft with us and flew into England for free. And they have to get back to where they're going, that's on them. But Space A travel is a big thing. The next thing, should have been at the top of my list, is medical. Medical coverage while you're on active duty for yourself, and if you have a family, them as well, is a huge deal. I know of friends who have had some very expensive procedures done for either themselves or their family members, and the military paid for all of it. A lot of money. When you're active duty and reserve, and I'll talk about this with the reserve channel as well, or a reserve video, is you qualify for SGLI, service members group life insurance, SGLI. I have that as well. I also have a separate one outside of the military, life insurance. For me, it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. That's my opinion, and it works for me. Relocation. So it's time for you to move to your next assignment, whether it's stateside or overseas. The military will move all of your household items. They do have weight capacity limits, so look into that as well. But you also get a dislocation allowance, which is money for you to pay off some of the expenses that you'll have during your active duty move, because that is a requirement. You could turn it down maybe once and still stay in the Air Force, at least the Air Force. The second time, if you turn it down, you may have to separate from the service. So those are just some of the things that you should consider if you want to do active duty. There was one more thing, and I just went blank on what that was. And here it is. It came right back to me. If you serve a minimum of 20 years active duty, you are eligible for a pension immediately, which means you get your pay once you retire, and you also get medical for the rest of your life. I'm a reservist, so if I retire in 2 years, I have to wait till I'm 60 to get my pension, my money, and my medical as well. So do what's best for you. Both are good options. I will say this, that the reserves, in my case, in my opinion, is the best kept secret. However, I would have stayed active duty if I could have, and that was my plan. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for me, but we're making it happen. Reserve video coming up in about a week or two. If you have questions, let me know. Take care. I talked about tuition assistance, and I mentioned it's $4,500. That is per year. So that is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of that and get a lot of your school, if not all of your school, paid for. The other thing I want to mention is there's a website called military.com. And if you go to benefits, you can see what's eligible for active duty and for reserve as well. And I'll end with this. There are also active guard and active reserve jobs out there. Those are far few in between from what I've seen. And a lot of people are interested in those because you don't have to move as much or at all. But speak to the reserve or guard on that if you want an active guard or active reserve slot. You take care.